Good day to you. I wanted to talk to you today about anxiety. And I want you to start thinking of anxiety in a way that you've probably never thought of anxiety before. And for some of you, this is going to sound so odd because for those of you that have had really bad anxiety, it's probably not going to make much sense. So I want you to hear me through. I want you to make anxiety your best friend. I want you to use anxiety as though it's a clue, as though it's a game, something that you need to discover, something you need to work out. Once you change the way you perceive anxiety and once you realise that you can do something amazing with it, then it changes the game. So, bear with me. What I want you to start doing is take a small notebook around with you. I mean, you can use the notes on your phone, but actually I think that, and I know that writing things down on paper has a far more beneficial effect for your brain, for your hippocampus, for the way that your brain stores information. Handwriting is much more effective for that because of the encoding process, the biological encoding process. So put that aside. It's better for you to handwrite it, but you can use your mobile phone notes as well. And what I want you to do is each time you have anxiety, I want you to make a note. What you were doing, who you were talking to, where you were, what you were eating, what you were drinking. I want you to pay attention and note everything down. Make it a game. Make it like a clue game where you're looking for the clues. And what you'll see is a pattern. You'll see a pattern, you'll see something forming, and you'll realise, oh, my anxiety is just there to communicate with me, to give me these messages that this person isn't good for me, this food isn't good for me, this place isn't good for me, this activity isn't good for me, this job isn't good for me, whatever it is. Your anxiety is trying to communicate with you, it's trying to be your friend, it's trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Now, when you make notes, you'll also see that some of those things are just perceived threats. They're just perceived fears. So, for example, if you're with your best friend and you note down that your best friend says something you don't want to hear and that's triggered something inside of you, it shows you where you need to do that internal work on maybe building self-esteem or whatever it is you need to work on. By noting it down, you become mindful, you bring it into the present, and therefore anxiety is your friend. It's trying to help you. It's trying to tell you what you need to do or what you need to change in your life in order to not feel that way. It's communicating with you. And so I say make it into a game because once you realise that it doesn't need to be all doom and gloom, you don't need to change your whole self. You don't need to be in the depths of despair anymore. You just need to pay attention. Make anxiety your friend. I've talked before about neurological pathways. Neurological pathways are formed because we repeat the same thing day in, day out. Just making that small change could make all the difference to you. So give it a go. There's nothing to lose. Again, I would highly recommend handwriting, but if it's easier, just use the notes on your phone. Pay attention, be mindful, make anxiety your friend. And on that note, have a lovely day.